we get started, I'll put, everybody put their cell phone on vibrate, we appreciate it. Okay. On general roll call.
Alderwoman Kathy Holt.
Here.
Alderman Freddie Gregg.
Here.
City Attorney Terry Hurst.
Here.
Mayor Connie Ball. Vice Mayor Bill Costner.
Here.
Alderman Kenny Morgan.
Here.
Alderman John Bugg.
Here.
James Fincham.
No.
Number 3, approve of the minutes of the previous meetings. We have a correction, I believe.
We do have a correction in the last minutes of the meeting on page 3 of the old minutes, where it is to put Christine on the account. It's got the motion was made by Alderwoman Holt and seconded by Alderwoman Holt, but really Johnny made the motion. And it was my second.
Ask if we have a motion.
For that motion,
I'll make the motion with the corrections made.
with the corrections made. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We don't have no proclamations or recognitions, citizens, anything, James?
Okay, one thing to report. I've given y'all a copy of the report that we got from Standard & Poor on our bond rating. We had good news. Standard & Poor has moved us from an A to an A+, which is a higher rating. Don't know if that's the highest rating we've ever had, don't know, but it's probably as high as we'll ever get, would be my guess. So it's a definite improvement over our bond rating that we had. We got our bonds have been bid out. We got locked in at an interest rate of 2.47% on our refinancing of our variable rate loans, and we will be signing the documents next Tuesday. They will put all that to rest legally. We've been asked about the traffic light downtown here at North Street. I don't know if the chief has an update other than what he gave me when I asked him about it earlier, but we have turned that into progression, and they were supposed to come in and fix that loop last week. They had said they thought they would get to it Wednesday or Thursday, and as the last account I had earlier today, they have not gotten to that. So the only information that I have is that it is on their list of things to do, and they will get to it as soon as they can work it in.
James, they was down there sawing last night.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Late. We got in the ballgame for that, just days out down there having, on
Oh,
Wayne
okay.
Street.
Well, they may have got it today then.
I believe they were sawing the road up last night.
Oh, okay, well, that'd be good. Thank you. Have a meeting Friday morning with Johnson Controls. They're bringing a representative of their financing organization that they use. The way that they explain it to me, and I've heard tell them, it's a lease purchase agreement that they do. I've never seen that done in a project like this. They said it's something that was devised by TVA. Any of y'all that want to come and sit in on that meeting are welcome to come. That's going to be at 8:30 Friday morning with Johnson Controls and this representative. But they said that probably there may be some fluctuation in the payment rate that they put into that packet, that would probably go up a little bit. So, I don't know. I'm meeting with them Friday morning, and we'll see, and then I'll report back to you. And like I say, any of y'all want to come, welcome to come sit in on that. Friday night, we had our small town Christmas celebration. I think for the weather we had, it went well. The church was packed over there. And all the folks that came to City Hall seemed to have a really good time. Kelly Stokely worked really hard on that thing, and can't say enough good things about her, how hard she worked and how much time and effort she put into that. And also, of course, Greg Von Cannon at the Rusty Wallace Ford that financed it for us, gave us the funds to be able to do those things. That's about all I got. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, one more thing. A little gentleman by the name of Jacob Futch, F-U-T-C-H, won the giant stocking. So somebody had asked about that, so that, we awarded that to him today. So he went out here flying a dragon, so,
Okay, thank you, James.
thank you.
James,
Yes, sir.
can you give me a copy of the reports from the, I need a copy of the reports from the police department
Yeah,
and
yes,
the detectives, and because, used to we didn't want it.
yes.
Could you give that to me, please?
Yes, sir.
I want it from now.
Oh, you want it included?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we can do that.
Thank you.
Anybody else got anything for James? Okay. Number 7, reports from committee, members of council, or other officers. Okay, the Tanner Alliance presentation, Mr. Dyke.
Good evening, council. I don't really have anything significant to report. We are not meeting this month because of the holidays. Everybody's been pretty busy, but last month was a very busy month for us. Several of our members attended various conferences around the state and the country. I myself attended a conference in Indianapolis. The National Trust for Preservation was held there the middle of November. I went out, was able to secure some valuable contacts and some information on grants and some other things for preservation. The only other thing that I have of significance to report is that we will be hosting a fairly major fundraiser, probably at the end of late in January, to kind of secure some funds for another project that we have going with the Community Design Center out of Knoxville. They did come up and meet with us last month also. We will meet again with them early on tomorrow morning for some services they're willing to provide pro bono. And hopefully we will be able to get some funding from them and also some design work and engineering specs from them also. At this point, that's about all I have. If you have any questions for me.
You have a question?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ray, what time are you meeting at community development?
Community Design Center, it'll be 9 a.m. in the morning in Knoxville.
Dave Watson?
Pardon me?
Dave Watson?
Yeah, I think that is his name, yes.
Under old business, consideration of the second reading of ordinance 2013-19, bypassing a traffic control device. Kurt?
And Vice Mayor, I'll read that caption into the record. That's ordinance number 2013-19, an ordinance of the city of Newport, Tennessee on bypassing a traffic control device. This would be the second reading.
Make a motion.
To pass that on second reading, we need a motion and a second.
I would like to make the motion.
I have a second.
I'll say.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Yes, it would be.
Do we need to give them, we talking about giving them a 30-day notice or?
Well, we were planning on doing
Okay.
a warning campaign.
Warning campaign,
and
okay.
enforcement.
Okay, thank
I'll
you.
need the signs also.
Need to put some,
We can read signs.
just put in the paper, put it in, it'll be in the paper, okay. Okay, under new business.
Vice Mayor, I'd like to make a motion under the new business that we go ahead and pull the discussion of red light to the top of the agenda. I think that's what most of the people are here for.
Okay. Discussing the red light, then we'll move it up top agenda.
You have something to say about it?
I've got something. This time where you want to let them speak. Okay, I think we need I'm going to check on something. I'd like to put this off to the next meeting, give me time to talk to some people. We might have a remedy for it. I'm not guaranteed, but we're going to check into something, and we'll put this back on the docket for next month. If y'all want to speak right now about it, you're welcome. But before we take a vote to do anything of that, we're going to check and see if we can do something.
And it'd be your recommendation.
It'd be my recommendation to do that. Give us a little more time. If that's, please, the council.
I'd like to speak.
We'll let you speak just a minute, Gary. I was going to see the council. You want to let them speak before we vote?
I don't care.
Okay. Okay, anybody want to speak, welcome to speak. Got 3 minutes. Gary? Donnie, you keep time.
My name's Gary Gregg. I own Custom Care Cleaners. They bagged the light after they told us they wouldn't, and we have endured it for the last several weeks. But I'm here tonight to ask you to unbag it because I'm losing $1,000 a week, and I can prove it to you on my books. And I've got repeat customers that's there every week. And when I start losing that kind of money, I've got to have something done. Now, you can figure it however, but that's $50,000 a year. It's going to cost me because that light's bagged. I'm asking the city council to unbag it. Now, I'm not here to hurt Teresa's business. I like Teresa. I mean, even when she moved in down there, she asked me about the flower shop. Would it do good there? Did you not? I did. I'm not here to hurt her in any way, but this has hurt my business. Her side is clear, and mine is blocked all the way up. They can't get in, they can't get out. I mean, I know yous are put in a position, but I need that light so my people can get in and out. I had a retired police officer got out today in the road and stopped traffic to let people out. He was in there getting closed today. All I'm asking is to unbag it. I mean, I've got a petition here for me. I've got a lot of signatures on. And I've also even got and Teresa knows it for a fact, she sees it herself. This car wrecked right in front of her business because they're picking up speed. It sat in her parking lot for a couple of days, and I'd say she didn't really care for it sitting there because it caused her customers hard to get in and out. But if you'll take time just to read what the man said that the police officer wrote down, he stated that he was not able to stop. So that tells you he was moving too fast.
Same way. Well,
I mean, I'm just
I
asking.
like you work with us. I've come up, I'll take it on myself. I'm going to check on something. And if it works out, we'll have you answered. Just give me a week, or I'm making a call this week. And let me just check in something.
Well, who's going to reimburse me for my money I'm losing? I'm telling you. I mean,
I understand what you're saying, but
the dry cleaning industry in the wintertime is their money-making time. But I've got customers that trade with me all year long, and this is based on my customers all year long. And I'm losing $1,000 a week. Now, I don't know about Teresa, whether she's lost any. She had to speak for herself. But I'm not here to hurt her or her family in any way. I just need the light so I can do business in this town.
thank you. Anybody else want to speak? Teresa?
All I know is about the light. Everybody that's been in the flower shop, they love it. They can get through town. The wreck that happened out there, there's been, since I've been there, probably one every month or two out there, a wreck. And the same thing, when the light is working down there, they're backed all the way up. My customers cannot get in and out of my shopping area. And it's just, I hate to tell them that it's bad, but it's a bad situation with that light. It's terrible, and it just needs to be taken down. And I felt like that a red light shouldn't be really for a business. I feel like a red light should be for the flow of traffic through town. And it's flowing good right now. Thanks.
Thank you, Trey. Anybody else like to comment? Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not a business owner, but I am a traveler. I come through here quite often.
What's
My family.
Name? What's your name?
Ron Amason.
Ron what?
Amason. I've lived here about 14 years. I moved here from the state of Alabama. And I love it here. I'm a self-employed. And when you pull a piece of equipment through that town, it's not fun. Not with that red light. And it's a no-brainer. The highway department's already said, take it down. It's just that simple. I know the newspaper loves it because they like to be able to stop traffic and sell papers. Just take that for what it's worth too. But my part, and it's just me and my family, leave the bag up. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I'm Eddie Gray. I'm pastor of New Life Baptist Church. We're right there in the corner of what used to be the James Furniture Building, and my late Uncle Brownie Licklider is the one that had James Furniture for nearly 60 years. And that light was beneficial to his business, helping his customers get in and out, and also beneficial for his truck, getting his delivery trucks and unloading and loading furniture and so forth. As our church is there in that corner building, we've at different times with the traffic coming through on Sunday morning, we've directed traffic, had to stop traffic to let some of our elderly people get out because of the flow of traffic. And I understand that, for some it's a good thing, for others it's a bad. But I believe if we could put a light in there that the timing would be right, it might help the flow of traffic better than what it is at the present time. But one of the things that I believe is of concern is not just the flow of traffic, but safety, and the safety of our citizens. And I believe that I brought this picture of the Newport Plain Talk put in the paper on the 27th of November. And if you look on the side street coming from Jefferson and down Jefferson Avenue, you cannot see that stop sign because the locksmith's van is sitting there. My concern is somebody would turn behind the building there, come beside the body shop, come down and not be able to see that red light and run right out into the flow of traffic, and somebody be hurt seriously or maybe even killed. So the concern is for not just for businesses, but for safety as well. Safety for our people that's coming in and out of our church, and also for those that may come down that Jefferson Avenue, not see that stop sign and run right through it. Now, the locksmith parks his van there to let customers park in front of his business, and so the customers have a place to park. And my Uncle Brownie Licklider, he had a delivery truck that he parked on the side of that building as well. But the light was working, and so you could always see that light. But now that stop sign is obscured. And so if we're not careful, an accident can happen from coming off that side street. So it's a two-way problem there, a concern of safety and a concern of business traffic as well. And so I ask that we consider maybe the possibility of a different kind of red light. I believe if you also look in this picture, you'll find that the red light that's at Wilma's, the new red light there, sticks farther out in the road than what the old red light is there at the corner of Jefferson and Broadway. When that red light was working, many times, either in the morning service or even at night, I've seen folks run that red light. We'd be standing out with our folks talking and visiting after church, and see people just go right straight through it. And I think it might be because that red light was not far enough out in the road for it to be clearly seen. Surely, hopefully, we can all come to a common good, because we need all businesses that we have. We need Wilma's, we need Custom Cleaners, we need Gary Kiker and the Kiker Garage, we need a locksmith. Our church needs to be able to get in and out. We all need to benefit from the services that are provided in our community. And so I hope that we can come to a common good. that'll benefit everybody. Thank you for your time. I appreciate each and every one of you, and it's hard for a Baptist preacher to cut his time short, but I try to do that, all right? And I know that y'all are doing all that you can, and I appreciate your effort that you do. I've been in the pastorate for over 30 years, and I know you can't make everybody happy. And I know y'all have a tough job, but I ask that you consider this, and hopefully we can come to a common ground that'll benefit everybody. Thank you.
You did good, Preacher. You stood up 300 seconds. 5 minutes.
Anybody else like to speak on the traffic light? Okay. What does council's pleasure?
Why do we not table this and see if you can talk to the gentleman, whoever you want to talk to, and see if we can't come to some common ground agreement?
Gary, that'd be all right, and Teresa, give me a few days, and I'll get back with you.
Kathy, you should never use table. I'll never say table on anything.
Oh, okay.
That changes things. Please.
Well, it changes it. Alderman Bud's correct. It changes it in that it requires a greater vote to get it off the table than it normally would. So we can table it, or we can just...
How about I make a motion?
No, don't do that. You just say we'll discuss it.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a motion that we not...
I'm not telling you
that
what
we
to say.
continue it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But if you want to put it on the table, that's a different
Well, let's just,
Well, we got good people here, and
We do.
we got 50-50, and this is, folks, you don't know how hard this is. I like
don't.
Chris, I like Garrett, and this really puts the pressure to you.
it
And we
does.
don't want to hurt the business. I got the right side, it hurts going in town, it hurts right on the left, they're all, the leaves the other way. We got to find some kind of common ground. Give me just a few days, and if it doesn't work, then we'll have to just fire the bullet and vote on it.
We're not up here to hurt nobody. That's not our intention. It really is not.
And my phone's running off the wall.
Vice Mayor, can I
Yes, Mr. Howard.
I want to, here, I want to put this in a motion, that we unbag it while you check on it, because if we don't, and we wait till January to come back to address it, because the holidays are going to be here, then it's going to be back for another 30 days.
Okay.
The light's been there for 50-something years, 60 years, whatever. I don't think 1 month's going to hurt anything. And if we come back next month and I think what you're talking about works, then I think it's a moot point anyway, so.
Okay.
My motion's on the floor.
I have a second. I'll second myself.
You can sure do that.
Okay.
Then we need a roll call vote.
Roll call vote.
Ron Bud,
No.
Kenny Morgan,
Yes.
Bill Costner,
Yes.
Ray Gregg, Kathy Holt,
Yes.
So we can,
So,
motion carries?
Yes.
Is that what I heard?
Motion carried.
I'd like to
Yes,
make
sir.
a statement about my no too. We've been doing this for almost a year now, the same red light over and over and over. Workshops, meetings. I think when we come back for this next meeting, that we make a decision and stick with it. Whether it's take it down, leave it up, whatever.
And turn the page.
I agree. I think
This has been going on for a year, and we're still at the same place we were a year ago.
and that's my exact reason for making that motion, because I think that if we're gonna wait another month due to holidays, I mean, they gotta make a living, and the people down there, I don't think that 1 month's gonna hurt. That's my, and then next month, if
We'll make a decision
yeah.
one way or the other, the next meeting. So I've been driving by and looking. Some days I could get out of the laundry good, and sometimes you couldn't. It's just the time of day. And
And I'm not looking at the hurting on business. I'm looking at what the state is gonna give us to make our city flow, traffic flow better. If we leave that up, we get nothing.
Sometimes the state has been wrong.
I agree. I agree, but
Well,
I'm not sure.
here's the deal now. That red light will come down. The state of Tennessee said that red light comes down, but it's not what the state says. Now, another red light could go up. I mean, even the preacher said, even the preacher, he didn't say he wanted it down, he said he wanted it up. He really said it could come down or it could go up. I mean, exactly what to me, I'm against it, but it's going to come down, that red light's going to come down. And now, here's going to be the problem. Within the next month, if there's an accident down there, are they going to sue the city? Because you unbagged it, and then you bagged it back? I mean, I don't understand. Once we agreed on option one, that said that red light come down. The state of Tennessee's, that's what they said. Now, we could spend $100,000, $200,000 to put one of them back up. I mean, we could do that. But, it's, the motion has carried. I mean, that's the way it is. I'll just wait and see.
I'll say this, I live in Newport the same as you do, and you know how this mess is out here. I'm not disagreeing with you, Johnny. My thing is this, that red light's been there that long, and until we find a solution to it, there's no sense in bagging it, because what the state said is the light can come down if we're gonna take the money and fix those other red lights.
Well,
Otherwise, they would have taken it down when they did this bunch of red lights. But, Teresa, I want to address something. That red light's been there all these years, and has it just affecting it since the new ones went up? So if it was timed correctly, I'll just use that as my terms, then you would be okay with it.
If it was, how can it be, it's on a timer and the other one,
I'm not a red light specialist, I'm just asking. If it was timed to where traffic flowed better.
If it was timed to where that light was green and that light was green also, it would be fine. The lights, the way they were before the new lights went up,
Will that
you
satisfy?
would go 40 miles an hour through town, 35, you went all the way through town. Traffic went right through town, no clogging, no nothing. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I don't disagree with you at all, and I think that's...
I want you to come, when you unbag that light, you come to my flower shop about 11, 12, 1 o'clock, and about 3, 4, 5 o'clock, and you see what a mess it's going to be.
It backs up on, I see.
And you make a motion.
You're talking about with the red light up. You're talking about the red light with it unbagged.
Yes, when it is unbagged, it just come. I would love for you to come and just sit there for a couple hours. I cannot get in and out of my parking lot. And none of my customers can get out on the parking lot. I've got the same problem Gary's got on the other side.
I assure you, I think there's problems with a lot of the red lights, not just that one. I think it don't just start and end at that red light, if you want my honest opinion. I think since the new ones went up, I've been here pretty much all my life, and I know you can get through town if you hit it just right. But the fact is, the new ones is up, it's timed different because those are older, and if we can come up with a solution, and I think Bill has a shot at a solution, that could work.
I hope he does, and can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Can I know I'm out of order here? Have you not noticed the last month how good traffic has flowed through Newport? Honestly, say yes or no to them. That's all I ask.
It depends on what time of day, because sometimes I'm on Main Street, so if you're talking about downtown, I think with the new lights, yes, it all flows better.
That's all, just take a vote for people here tonight and see how they feel about it.
I understand what you're saying. But we're trying to come to a compromise. If this works out, we'll have it done in a week.
What you talking about?
Jimmy, I'll ask you a question since I see you saying, can we extend that, a traffic light on out in the street if we get things fixed right? Can that red light be extended on out to the middle of the street a little more? We could add to the arm on it, make something. I'll talk to you about it later, but, we'll see.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
I know I'm completely out of order. and
No,
I'm
we,
supposed to say-
that's what this is. It's,
Okay. If we take that light down, if you all take it down, does the city not get a lot of money back for doing that?
It's on the state highway.
We don't get money back for that?
no,
No? Okay.
Nope.
All right.
state controls.
I make a suggestion, why don't you let, the next time you have a situation, let people vote on it, and I think you and you and you know how they would vote. Amen.
You're probably right,
You know I'm right.
but
Are you talking about just to get through town?
everybody likes
Got
it.
signatures.
We can take all the traffic lights down
I've got,
and,
I don't have time to stand and get signatures. I've got plenty here, just people coming in the shop. I say, do you want this red light? No, they don't want it. I don't have time. I mean, I don't know.
Teresa, take that light down, other than just bag it, it's not, we're accepting taking the state funds to put up those other red lights.
Okay,
It's not just a take down that red light.
okay. Well, it's bagged right now. It's working pretty well.
Well, I'm not gonna disagree with it, it's working now for you, but there's another half to that.
Okay.
And this, I mean, it's like he said,
Why is my house being thrown in the ditch?
it's not, for 30 days to give Bill a chance to remedy the whole thing, because, I
Okay,
mean,
let's just leave it bagged for 31 days. It's bagged now.
it hadn't been bagged for 60 years, I mean,
Well, it's bagged now, and it's working good. So I can't understand why we're unbagging it.
that's the
I
great thing
understand
about
my
sitting
bill,
up
I
here,
want
you get to
to
make 50% mad and 50%
And I
happy.
want to get something worked out for us, I really do.
well, what was our motion, the last meeting, was it 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days?
There's a time limit.
She mentioned,
3 months.
she mentioned 3
No,
months.
3 months.
But
I
she
asked
put
to
that
be
in the
back for
motion.
3
She
months.
asked you,
Let's
but
see
it
how it
didn't go.
goes. That's all I asked.
That's what I was wondering if it's in the, after we vote.
It didn't go in the motion.
Now,
was it?
she's one
It didn't go in, the 90 days,
She-
she asked for 3
Kathy
months,
said
that didn't go into
3
the motion.
On the video, it says her.
So did she. I don't know.
I asked for 3 months. And I thought, well, that'll give everybody time to get something straightened out.
The bug said until further notice, so that's
Yes.
what got put
Right.
on the, that's what got the, until further
Well,
notice.
I don't know, I know I said, can we do it for 3 months?
I mean, the motion was.
The motion was until further notice.
But, you
So
know,
there's no time.
Okay, we need, I appreciate all comments, we've got a motion that voted on, and we'll unbag it, and if we work this out, we'll vote on it for sure, to either take it down or bag it. The next meeting, you'll know one way or the other. On this, I'm just gonna put it off to, this just putting it off to the next meeting. Next meeting, we'll vote one way or the other, and you'll know how you stand. I know it don't satisfy everybody, but we're trying to help the business people. I know might be hurting you, little Teresa, but we've hurt Gary for 30 days, and if it's hurt you for 30 more, then we'll do something next month, one way or the other. And our mayor will be back here, and I'll let him take it. But,
Rocky,
anybody else need to say anything?
I don't know if it's just maybe this.
we,
We got 2 here. Let's move that down.
that's what it is, they're too close.
Yeah, there we go.
You need to say something, Fred? You want to say something?
It was the
No.
noise behind us.
No,
Okay, anybody else? Where we at now?
back to the,
Back to A, I guess.
A.
Okay.
Yeah.
A, consideration of first reading of ordinance 2013-18, amending the zoning regulations to permit and regulate tent sales.
I'll make a motion. Oh, you want to read it there?
I'll let Terry.
Yes, sir. This is ordinance number 2013-18, an ordinance to amend the zoning regulations of the city of Newport to permit and regulate tent sales. This, by way of reference, is an ordinance that was proposed by the Planning Commission at their last meeting. They had a couple of meetings on it, and they recommended this ordinance and the next one also. Specifically, this ordinance would regulate those tent sales to 16 days. And I believe Mr. Bug made a motion.
I made a motion.
Can I have a second? I have a second? On your note. It's on the regulate the tents.
Yeah, $500.
This five-
This went from $50, well,
The next ordinance sets the fee.
Oh, next order,
Joe,
okay.
but what this is, now this, what this saying, in order to get a second on it,
Yeah.
the planning commission voted to give these people, the ordinance already says 14 days, so we give them 16 days to cut it up, take it down.
Well, it goes back to the same thing, we voted to do the red light for one side and not the other side. So the local business owners that we've got here that sell the fireworks, we're gonna vote to hurt them when we bring the tents in.
No, you wait till you hear the next one.
I read the next one too. But they're still coming. If we vote this in, we allow them to come in.
Well, if they pay the fee, they can come in.
Well, if I was one of those tents, the way some of them make money, I'd pay the $500 to come in here and make about 50,000.
Well, I've said the same thing. I mean, I've said the same thing, but we wrestle with it.
Here's the question I want to throw out there. Those tents, are they insured?
Both, where's Mark at? Are they insured?
I asked that question a few years ago, and the owner of the operation said yes, but I haven't asked that recently. I'm sure it has to be by state law.
I'm sure there has to be, by law, some kind of insurance for a fireworks stand, because let's say, hypothetically, that a car went through a tent.
They have to have a state, they have to have a state, because you know good and well. I mean, they wouldn't just put it up because Santa Claus was out there.
Yes, and also the property owner's insurance can cover a certain degree, because they have to sign an agreement for the tent to be placed on their property.
That's correct in that the property owners cover insurance. Steve Smith was here last month, and who is a property owner who has one or more tents on his property, who he didn't speak, but he did inform me that he was not opposed to these ordinances, that he thought it was fair for them to pay a permit fee. He would object to them being outlawed in that he received revenue and rental from those tents to help him pay his taxes. The other question came up was whether these people pay sales tax, and they absolutely do. They're required to pay sales tax on every sale.
Through the state,
Not through the city.
Well, the city gets its share. I mean, they pay a 9-point-whatever% sales tax on each and every sale, even though they advertise no sales tax. That's included in the price.
I got a motion, I have a second. Well, wait just a minute. I haven't.
What was the motion?
To approve the ordinance.
Approve it. I have a second. I have a second. Or we don't get a second, it just dies.
It just dies, yes, sir.
Just for lack of a second.
Like a second, yeah.
I want to make a motion that we draft the ordinance to do away with it, period.
We put that in the motion already once before. Whatever happened to that?
Well, what concerned me, if we don't pass this, they'll just move outside the city and set up. And we won't get a thing.
We'll be losing the sales tax and
The
The county's dropping money, something will happen, that's obvious, it's a big surprise.
plus the property owner's gonna lose his income.
Steve Smith's, owns a lot of property.
Do I have a second?
See, that one does.
Motion.
Second.
That sound like motion fails. So there's no use reading the B part, you know.
All right, what about if we send back to the planning commission, raise the fee?
They raised it.
Yeah, we'll
The
raise it in the
$500.
next one.
Okay, well, we didn't get approved here, so what's the next step?
Well, see, even in this fee, the permits are valid for 16 consecutive days and expire 6 months after the date. So you give $500, you can set up 16 days, you can close it down for 24 hours, open back up 16 days, close it down for 24 hours. That don't even make,
Well, you could, they're not going to because they can't make any money except for 4th of July and
we don't
Christmas.
do or not.
Well,
Freddie, what are you
Or Labor
suggesting?
Day.
Well, what y'all suggesting and what to do?
Send it back to the planning.
Yeah, I don't like what.
Okay, send it back to
I don't
the
like
planning
how it
commission.
reads at all.
That's fine.
Do we need a motion or anything to send it back to?
No.
Okay, we'll send it back. Johnny, you dropped your motion, okay.
I'll play my tape to the planning commission, that's what I'll do.
See,
Okay.
this even says business peddlers, solicitors, everything.
I mean, if you look at ordinance, that ordinance has got all that stuff in it.
Yeah, I know it, but this is opening these tents up to anything.
No, but the ordinance that covers all that, the ordinance that you fixed up, court covers every bit of that.
Now what?
It covers every bit of what you're just saying.
Right,
Well, hello.
but then we're gonna put it in the writing here to open them back up, open it up to anything.
No, it don't, anything.
Read it right here,
You-
section 1.
Well, I won't be, I'm coming to that meeting, just play this tape, don't let me get it. That's all I'm gonna do. I mean, you're not making sense.
Read it.
I'm ready.
What does
I'm on
it
the
say?
planning commission,
What does it
Freddie.
say? Tent sales shall be
Okay.
added to Title IX, business, peddlers, solicitors, etc. You're offering everybody a tent, and we're doing fireworks.
What do you want, just put, for fireworks in there?
Nothing in there.
Nothing. You hear that, Johnny? He don't want to put nothing in the tents and
And I hope the recorder picked that up. I don't want to put nothing in there. I'll say it loud enough so it can hear it.
It will pick you up.
Good.
okay, go on to the next. Consideration resolution 2013-18, closing the bottom portion of McNabb Street. Hurry, I'll let you.
Well, again, this was at the last meeting, the planning commission recommended closing the bottom half of McNabb Street, the unopened part down there, beginning at Duncan Street, 116 feet up, but no further, not going beyond the James Smallwood corner property pin. And the issue at the last planning commission, at the last city council meeting was that there had been a lawsuit that Ms. Smallwood was involved with that gave her a right-of-way to her property at the upper end. The closing of this would not have any effect on that. It only would if we attempted to close her upper part, which this resolution would not do. I made that as clear as mud. But
Are you Miss Smallwood? You need to speak about this before we vote? Okay.
so,
Okay, do I have a motion?
Let me explain that.
Okay.
If I can, and my tape recorder's running. The lady that's on the bottom part of that street, she is buying that property on the right side, and it don't belong to her, but she's buying it. She don't have enough room down on the bottom part to build on her house. That's why they've asked for the height of it to be closed. That's what the deal is.
And
I'll make the motion.
and the planning commission's recommended.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Poses.
Yeah, you oppose. Ayes have it, so it's so done. So, consideration of resolution 2013-19 endorsing additional funding for highway construction. Terry, what's that?
I don't know, James.
No, that's just a technical form letter recommending the city of Newport, telling them that we recommend that additional funding be provided for projects. It's just an endorsement thing.
It's just, make that important motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, it passed. Nothing, we don't have no bids or comments from citizens. Anybody like to comment from the audience about anything? 3 minutes. Well, you got 3 minutes.
Okay, this was
Sure.
short and sweet. As a taxpayer and as a citizen,
If you, I recommend to aldermen, if you do not attend all the meetings, please read the minutes of the previous meetings to know what has went on before you start making motions and talking, because a lot of stuff that you have talked about tonight, the motions have already been made, and you're just doubling back. And it seems to be the two that are not normally here. If you just need to read
All
your
our names, me
your
and
meetings.
Kenny.
Well, I'll just name, I'm trying not to be rude, but basically, the things you're talking about are things that are in minutes and have already been acted upon.
Thank you, Freddie, for that clarification.
Okay, I'd like to make a suggestion to council. This is just off the, we're coming into a new year, quite obviously 2014. It's time to turn the page. Shouldn't we fill the position of city administrator instead of leaving it interimly?
I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
Okay.
Are you talking about opening it up again?
Yes.
Put it out.
Putting it up to take applications. I think it needs to be filled permanently.
I agree.
Okay.
I guess it's in the motion.
Ain't no motion.
Suggestion.
I would say this, that given the status of where we are, I would say that I mean, if we hire somebody, you have to hire them under the contingency of the understanding that there is a lawsuit pending, so that they don't, or we have to make some kind of, in the process, and there, I'm sure legalese wise, there's some.
To me, that's where we'd just be wasting our time. If he wins the lawsuit, then we got to fire somebody, and then we'll have to go find another job. That's why I say we leave it alone until we get this lawsuit behind.
Where's the lawsuit at anyway, James?
I haven't had any updates on it. Heard, you may have heard something.
I haven't heard any. We discussed it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, but no updates.
I mean, how long are you, I guess the question, how long are we looking at? I mean, are you looking at a year, 5 years, 10 years,
I would estimate a year,
another year?
at least. There's been no trial date set. There's been some discovery gone, so, but no trial date set. So it would be this summer before a trial date could possibly be set.
I mean, that could be another year on that.
Yeah, but, you know, people that on this board that run for election next time, if they get elected, then it would be all right, but you're putting a new board in a bad spot to me. That's the way I feel. If we
With
do,
the lawsuit.
yeah. If we do go ahead and appoint somebody and it,
I will say this, the city's run in the last 6 months about as smooth as my 12 years as city attorney has been on, for what that's worth.
What's your legal opinion?
Well, I think we're running good. I don't think we have to move forward.
That's it.
But
We don't
that's
have-
up to, that's a political decision that you all would need to make as far as whether you want to go
Define
forward.
political.
Political, the elected officials have to make that decision. That's a political decision.
We need to ask we need to ask the department heads, how is our now administrator has did. I've even heard one of them say myself, he said it in front of me, this is the best budget he's seen in 12 years. James Benjamin has done a good job. I mean, at least he has told us where our money's at. The other administrator, God bless his heart, he got a lawsuit on us. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Vice Mayor, just 2 comments. As a former member of council, I'll agree, Mr. Finchman has done an excellent job while I've been involved in the water thing. So I'd like to back that up. He's done a great job. I've told him so. I appreciate what he has done for the city. Second comment I got is the light at Jefferson. Whose job security is it to take the thing back down now? Is it gonna be Parks and Rec, or Street Department, or NU? Just did clarify that.
It'll be an NU, because that's got electricity on it.
Job security.
No, unbag it.
You talking about unbagging it?
Yeah, talk about unbagging the line.
Well, probably let the utilities do it, but we got a bunch, cities got a
Who
bunch.
do you recommend, Dennis, since you brought it up?
He's got good use on the bucket truck. I think that group, you know, they're pretty good at putting it up and down.
It has electricity, we're not involved with that.
Christmas tree does too.
Not until we hooked it up.
Well, I don't think concern me. I don't think James did a good job. But I just hope the city, I don't know what the situation's gonna be there.
I'm gonna also have with Maurice when sheriff, who's gonna take over the police department, that would be, that I think.
You know,
I think that's a good question.
that's what we're concerned about.
They're the next in line to take Maurice.
And where would we be then?
And then what?
Because
I
that
don't
would
think,
depend on him.
that'd be a lot to put on him both ways.
Is a real,
Is that putting you on the spot, Dane?
well, I think James is in a position
Well,
to take Maurice.
Anything I say is
I didn't want to say it.
But you want to make sure the police department is running on target.
Joan?
Are you not
Get out of here.
the council workshops on the second Tuesday? When you change your mind, how are we supposed to know?
It'll be in the paper.
Okay.
That we'll notify, we'll make sure the radio and paper. We just had so many meetings here lately. I mean, we attend a lot of meetings. I went to school board meeting here the other day. I mean, there's always somebody wanting you to come.
Well, that's just like Johnny goes, I mean, it's a week.
Planning commissions, and like I said, they invite us, and I mean, that's what we get paid for. But we go to a lot of things, people, and I'm not right about it, but it's, and Mr. Ford, I know about that light down there. That's a hard situation. I mean, we got good friends on both sides of that. But we're gonna ream it the next month, the mayor will be here. We'll vote one way or the other.
If not, we'll just put it all on the mayor.
Put it all on the mayor then.
Well, you can't, because you can't vote.
But I am confident that next month we will vote the same.
You can get that thing on the ballot, that's like all you are.
Well, that take another year. It's gonna take another year.
We don't have to put it on, we don't have to put that red light on the ballot because it's a state highway. It's left up to the state, ain't left up to the city. The state doesn't make the decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just put that on work, when we have a workshop for the city administrator and traffic light, we'll put that in case we're going.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the,
And we'll know more by then, the situation that's going.
I don't think nobody up here, Kathy, I'm not speaking for you at all. I don't think anybody was condemning James. I think if it's gonna be, and I think April made a great point, if James may be the next city administrator somehow, that may be the discussion piece, or it may be that you go a different route. I mean, my personal, I think it's time you decide, and it's not fair to James if Maurice did win, then it's not fair to leave James hanging out here in thin air.
That'd be up to his decision, but what I'm saying, we're gonna talk around town, I'll just be honest with you. He can't do both jobs. He's stopping there every day and doing this. Like I said, he's done a good job. But we just need to know, we don't know which way to go here.
That's what I want to do.
Can we not just put it and talk about it?
Can we just talk about it at the workshop, and James, you'll know more by then, hopefully.
That's what I'd like to do.
Maybe Maurice. Okay, anybody got any comments, anything else? I hear okay. Ma'am, speak.
Y'all ain't decision on the fireworks conversation.
On what?
On the fireworks.
No.
We didn't, no decision on it, not right now. It's going back to planning commission. And they'll go over to Johnny, he's on the planning
No, don't
commission.
go with me.
Well, you can bring it back to us what to say,
7 other people.
okay?
I mean, you can talk to me about it, John.
It died with a lack of a motion. We had a motion, but no second.
I'm just one.
I have the. Let it go? Okay.
Somebody make a vote on adjourn?
Yeah, I had motion adjourned.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.